Hello, my name is Denys Chernyshov, and this is Eternity Live Forum's interview with speakers who will perform at the forum at 11th of November 2022. Eternity Live Forum is a major event, a concentration of experience, knowledge, and research from a number of scientists who will present the latest developments and ways to increase life expectancy and perhaps achieve immortality. So we're glad to welcome our viewers to an interview with interesting person, great professional, biologist, geneticist, master of science, Olga Borysova. Hello, Olga.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Thanks. Olga, what research are you currently undertaking in life extension?
Well, I have recently moved to Germany, and here I am contributing remotely to longevity projects as a geneticist. One of them, just DNA Sec, focuses on human longevity gene variants reporting. So what we do, we are gathering the info about longevity-associated gene variants from databases, there are a lot of them, and inserting this data into the reporter. So every person who has genome sequenced can freely analyze their own genome file in terms of longevity variants. So it's kind of translating the science to human, science of longevity to human. Another project I am participating is Longevous Tech, and they focuses on exploring pathways to healthy longevity, and I'm providing target analysis. And the more one, which I found really interesting, my colleague Olena Bakhchivan and I, we have a MitoSpace project aimed at mitochondrial dysfunction in aging process. So what we do, we were carrying small-scale experiments on rodents, on mice, and not only mice, aimed at discovering how can we improve our mitochondrial function through microbiome. Microbiome is a community of microbes, microbiota living in our gut. And as you know, mitochondria powers of energy in our cells, they utilize food we eat, carbs, fats, doesn't matter, and give us energy in ATP form, the energy we can use for all cellular processes. But when we age, mitochondrial function decline and we gain less energy, even we have a lot of fat stored by that time. And which is also very important, as many people know, mitochondria, actually, they were not just organelles, they were bacteria 2 billion years ago. And when they are okay and well functioning, they give us energy and we are happy with that. But when mitochondria is broken, our organism starts inflammation process because it thinks it's bacteria, and inflammation increases. And what we think the most interesting is that field to find how can we affect mitochondria in all over of our body, in brain, which has a lot of mitochondria, in our muscles, in liver, etc. And actually, we can use the ability of mitochondria to communicate with their relatives, with our gut microbes. Because metabolites from our gut, they can significantly improve mitochondrial function and otherwise. And one of the reasons of age-related mitochondrial dysfunction, what we think is age-related changes in the microbiome. When we age, our microbiome also do aging. So we think that to restore mitochondrial function, it is necessary to colonize the intestines with good bacteria that produce metabolites like glutathione A and other that will stimulate mitochondrial function and prevent its aging decline.
Okay, thank you very much. It's very, very interesting. And how do you think, is there any tangible progress in life extension research already?
Yes, thank you very much for the question. Actually, I would say yes and no. What we know, we can extend life for model organisms. We can extend 10 times lifespan for worms by genetic manipulations. And for mice, which is commonly used model organism, we can extend their life for about 30% with different interventions. And the bulk of these interventions, they are around calorie restriction, nutrient sensing pathways, so eating less, live longer. But I really think that last years we do have prominent scientific results and prominent progress in mostly healthy life extension, not the maximal one, but in healthy life extension and preventing age-related diseases. And the first, what I think is really interesting is gene therapy. And it was recently shown by George Church that combination of 3 targets, which we can use by means of gene therapy, they can alleviate 4 age-related diseases: obesity, diabetes, heart failure, and renal failure. So all the things, bad stuff that happens during our aging, we can prevent them by gene therapy. And another combination also used by George Church, it was shown to increase the lifespan of mice, and it's totally different from calorie restriction mimetics. And the second interesting approach, which is really developing last years, is epigenetic reprogramming results. It is when they're putting cells into the young stage again. So it is tricky. We have not to reprogram them too much to get oncology, but it was shown also recently that only single injection in mice when they were young, actually. And this single injection helped them to delay age-related disease development. And that's what about animals. I think these 2 approaches are really promising and they're developing really fast, and we will get more very good results recently. And when we talk about human studies, I would say 2 clinical trials are ongoing now. Plasma dilution therapy, which helps diluting some inflammation molecules in our blood, some bad molecules, and rejuvenate our whole organism. And thymus rejuvenation. Thymus is a very interesting organ, and its rejuvenation with actually famous drugs. It helped not just improve immune functions of human, but also decrease epigenetic age. So it's a marker of biological age of our organisms. So I think it's a very good result that we have obtained recently, and it gives us hope.
It's really great what you are doing. And which technologies do you consider are the most significant for life extension?
Well, I would not focus on the single one. We are on the stage of combinatory approach, since aging is a very complicated process, so we have to act on it from different angles. So I would say we need further development of computational methods to analyze big data that we already have to find these combinations which can help extend lifespan radically. And from biological side of view, as biologist, I think there are several of them. The first is gene therapy methods. We already discussed them a little bit. Then artificial organs, it's a very interesting approach, like making from cells, from stem cells, for example, on scaffolds, artificial organs, they can be functional. And methods preventing sterile inflammation. For example, bats, they have exceptional longevity from animal world. They have a very interesting anti-inflammation program, which helps them live so long. And as I already mentioned, microbiome mitochondrial axis by affecting our microbiome. It's a half of our half of our cells of our organism.
Do you believe that science and medicine are capable of achieving indefinite life extension for humans in the future?
Well, we have examples from nature, yes, that from animals that aging is not obligate. Some species has escaped aging, so it's not necessary. But I would say that in the nearest future, we will be able to extend healthy life mostly and prolong lifespan. I don't know for how many years, and what about kind of immortality or indefinite life extension, but I think we can prolong its life significantly.
Okay, great. Thanks. And which technologies do you think will support indefinite life extension most of all?
All of them, all that I have already mentioned. Since aging is so complex, we need complex approach to contract it. So I think we should focus on different approaches and then combine them into the one therapy.
Okay, thank you. And the last question, in your opinion, what do we need to investigate more at this stage in the study of indefinite life extension?
In the stage we are in now, I think we should pay a lot of attention to matrix remodeling, since when we age, our matrix change, our long-lived proteins, they change, and some irreversible changes occur, and we should think about how can we counteract it. Mitochondria functioning, since it's our energy and it's our immune process, and actually, in general, homeostasis laws in our organism, replacement technologies. So we have to focus on biological processes. We can slow down aging biological processes. Second one, artificial organs, which can help while we are slowing down biological processes. Artificial organs can help to our organism to be functional. And gene therapy approaches. I would say these three approaches, in my opinion, at that stage are the most important for us.
Okay, thank you very much for such an interesting conversation, and see you at the Eternity Life Forum.
You're very welcome. Looking forward to see all the specialists and guests. Thank you very much.